Hi, hello everybody, and welcome back. Third time's a charm. So my name is Gretchen Ulanowski. This is my best friend Jen, and we love doing these DIY classes together. So my husband Lenny and I started this company, Whoop DIY, and we sell a lot of the containers that you need to make any kind of DIY projects with your essential oils. So your spray bottles, your roller balls, your jars, anything like that. And so Jen and I have a really big oil team underneath us, and we love to support them by showing them how to use their essential oils once they have them. So that's kind of how we got started with this whole DIY thing. And so we're doing these virtual DIYs so that everybody can participate and learn how to use your stuff.
Well, we've been doing DIYs together for a really long time, but we would host them in person. So we're really good at the DIY part, but the virtual part is new. And so this is our third try. The first try, we had a great group of wonderful people and beautiful faces that joined us, and we didn't get it to record properly. So the second time we decided we just sounded silly. And now here's the third time. So welcome. If you're catching the replay, you're really catching the replay.
But here we are. We're going to show you how to do this stuff. And
we'll try to remember the great tips that they all shared and questions they asked so that you don't miss out on that part. And we can only get better from here, right?
Exactly.
All right, let's kick it off. What are we making today? We're making a DIY candle. We're making a Breathe Easy inhaler. And we're making a Winter Skin Balm. So if they took advantage of Loop's box bundle, they have all the ingredients that they need except for the oils. Are they right?
Exactly.
And if they don't have the oils, they can contact one of us, and we know somebody who will
exactly. We will help you out with that.
So we're making first. What are you making here?
We are doing the virtual. We're doing the virtual candle. We're doing the DIY candle here. And so in our instructions, it says to melt your beeswax. You should have gotten if you got the kit, or if you're just doing this on your own, that's cool too. You're going to take half a cup of beeswax and melt that over a double boiler. Now, some people don't have a double boiler, so we wanted to show you an option that we have. I think we should be able to do this. So I just have a pot of water. I've got about 1 inch to 2 inches of water in there, and I just have it on a little simmer. I don't want to have like a full rolling boil, just a little simmer. And then you can take a stainless steel pot, or one of the questions that we had in our live Zoom was, can you use glass? You can absolutely put a glass container or a glass bowl in here. You just want that beeswax to be above the boiling water, the simmering water. You don't want it in like a super hard boil.
You want the steam to melt it instead of the actual water or burner, because it's really easy to burn the beeswax. It just goes from not melted at all to burn really quickly.
Yep.
But the steam allows it to melt at a more appropriate pace that allows you to work with it a little better.
Right. So when you're doing these projects, these ones in particular, the beeswax does take a little while to melt down. So we had that going already. But when you start your projects, go ahead and throw that in first. You start melting up your half a cup of beeswax, because sometimes that does take a little bit. And then we're going to take it over to the...
One second. You already added the coconut oil.
Yes, I already did add our coconut oil to this as well. In the instructions, it does say to take the beeswax off the heat and then add your coconut oil. But just for time's sake, we already went ahead and added that in there. So that is a tip that we did. And yep. I think you got it. Okay. So we're just coming over to the stove. We're going to show you, we're melting up our other ingredients for the Winter Skin Balm. So we have our heaping tablespoon of coconut oil. We have the heaping tablespoon of beeswax and shea butter in there. And that is melted up really nicely. So let's go ahead and start with this one actually.
Do you want to tell them about that container that you have?
Oh yeah, great idea. See, so I'm forgetting because we already did this 17 times tonight. But this is called a melting pitcher or a wax pitcher. And I just got that off of Amazon. This is another option that you can use to melt your wax products when you're doing these, anything with beeswax in it. If you don't have one of these, again, you can create your own double boiler with just using like 2 pots. You can always take just like a Pyrex measuring cup like this, a glass one, and you can melt your stuff in the microwave if you want to do it that way too. It is kind of messy, and we just don't particularly care to use our microwave, so we just use our stove for that. You could even use like a any kind of stainless steel or aluminum can, an empty green bean can or something. Honestly, if you wash it out, you can melt your stuff right in there, and that's going to be perfect. Just be careful you don't burn your hands on it when you're pulling that out of that hot water. Okay, so this one's nice and melted. We're going to take you over to the counter here, and we are going to finish up our Winter Skin Balm. Yeah, I just set it there. And then do you want to do this one again?
Oh, sure.
Awesome. So Jen's going to tell you about the oils that we chose for our skin balm.
Yeah, so
the oils you're talking about that.
The oils that we chose are all oils that are going to help soothe our skin, help give our skin like a tall drink of water basically in winter. It gets so dry, and also cell regenerative. So like when we get that dry, flaky, itchy skin, then it's really great to have some oils that promote cell regeneration, right? And then we also have our fountain of youth in here. So
I love that.
Too much ado. Here are the oils we're using. Yarrow palm. Oh, you can't see it because the light.
Yeah, just put your hand behind it. Should maybe not. There you go.
That's yarrow palm.
Yarrow palm.
Trust me. Yarrow palm is really great for cell regeneration, and it's like a fountain of youth. It's just really, really soothing and great to the skin. It also has like a blue tint to it.
It's really pretty.
Lavender is very soothing for any burns, bug bites, itchy, achy skin, allergic reactions to something. So this would be great if you have any of those. And then frankincense we're also using. They say when you in doubt, get your frank out. And frankincense is our oil that we love to use just for youthful, great, healthy skin, all things really, yes. And emotionally, all of these oils are really fantastic have emotional benefits for calming. So that would be great even just to inhale it. Yeah, it's great to wear for that. So we're going to take it. It's all melted in here now. I don't know if there you go. You can see it. Yeah. And I'm going to try to pour this.
Oh, we didn't put the oils in yet.
Yes.
It does set up pretty quickly. So while you're doing this, it's 5 drops each of the yarrow. I can't talk and do it either. Is that 5?
Yeah. 5 drops each of the
5 drops each of yarrow,
lavender, and frankincense.
Yes. And it does kind of set up quickly. So if it starts to set up on you while you're still adding your oils or you're not done, it's okay to put it back on the heat for just 30 seconds or so while you're mixing those oils back up so that it melts back up. And then Jen is just going to
for too long.
Right. You don't want to put the oils on there for too long just because they do lose some of their potency when you heat them up. So try to do it quickly if you can. You'll see Jen's just pouring that melted wax right in our containers.
Or out of it too.
Or out of it. It's kind of hard. They kind of run over sometimes. You might have a little bit left over, and that's okay. You could just throw it in a little glass jar if you have one.
All right.
And perfect job. Nice job, Jen. All right. And the reason why we chose these sticks as opposed to like a little lip balm container, we originally thought of the little lip balm, the aluminum jars for that. But sometimes it's just, when you put that stuff, the balms and the salves on your skin, it's just kind of greasy. So we thought it would be a nice idea. This was Jen's idea actually, to do like the chapstick or the lip balm containers like this, so that you don't necessarily have to get it on your hands and your fingertips, but you can still have that nice soothing skin balm that goes right, I know you can't see because of the light, but it goes right on to your skin. So we can apply this on our dry patches on our hands, on our knuckles. Jen was saying that her husband gets kind of dry skin right on his eyelids. So this would be perfect in that delicate eye area. I have been loving these. I tested this recipe out like a couple weeks ago. I have one of these sitting on my nightstand. I've got one in my car. I've got one in my purse. I've got one on my desk, because it's just, I've been like rubbing it all over my knuckles, on my elbows.
The sink would be a really great place because we wash
You're washing your hands so much. It's awesome, guys.
My mom said when she was making hers on our first DIYs night that didn't record, she had some extra and spilled over, and she took it and put it on her elbows and on her heels of her feet because they get so dry. So I thought that was a great idea.
That was a really good tip. Yeah. Another tip that we did not do on these, but you also should have gotten some chalkboard labels in your kit, or if not, we do have those available. And I always like to put my labels on the containers before I fill them up, which we failed to do. in this recording, but that's okay. It's because it's a lot easier to put them on, and that way if you spill, the sticker won't come off and the label won't come off. And so with these chalkboard labels, there's a couple of different things that you can use to write on them. We've found that like a chalk marker works really well. We've got these paint markers. Where they go? You want to grab those paint markers? We have these paint markers. This is probably my favorite thing to use, and these are from Target. It's just those little paint pens. You can get them probably at Michael's or whatever. Those kind that like shake up. You can hear the little ball in there, and then it just has like a little felt tip. You push that tip down, and then the paint starts coming out. Those are really nice to write on these chalkboard labels, or then also just metallic markers. So these are just Crayola metallic markers or metallic Sharpie. Those work really well on there too, and it shows up really well, and it doesn't wipe off. Really, it stays on there pretty good. So
these set up really fast.
They do. They set up very quickly. So yeah, those should be good to go. Those are for Jen to take home. She's gonna use those ones in her car and purse and backpack and wherever she wants to use them. Then I don't know if I already mentioned this, but you can also use it as lip balm too. All of those oils are great for, anywhere on your face, but they're also great for your lips. I've been using it as just a chapstick or a lip balm too. So those are awesome.
It smells amazing too. I may have spilled it on purpose.
Hey. Okay, so I think our beeswax for the candle is pretty much all melted back up again and ready to go. But before I pour that into our jar, I'm going to secure the wick. And how you can do that is just putting a dab of hot glue right on the bottom of that silver tab on the bottom of your wick. If you don't have a hot glue gun, that was another question that we had gotten in the first Zoom that we did. But you can just use a little bit of super glue. Okay, just a little dot of super glue, and you're going to try to center that right in the middle of your container as much as you can. Another fun tip that helps you center that wick is to take a clothespin like this. So take the springy kind of clothespin, not just the wooden little stick man one, but the springy kind. And there's a hole right in the center of that. Just put that wick right in that hole and balance it on your jar. And that puts that wick right in the center of your candle. So that's a really nice way to make sure your candle is in the center and it's not going to float around when we pour the wax in. Okay, so I'm going to grab that wax off of the burner.
All right. And for our candle today, we chose to use spearmint and lemongrass. And they're both very uplifting. They're great for come allergy time as we're approaching spring. Yay!
I know.
But also together they smell like a spa to us. And during these winter months and when it's kind of gloomy and dark and whatever, having a spa day or something uplifting for a spa is really great. We also chose them because they're very potent. So with candles, Gretchen was sharing earlier how they burn different. You want to share?
Yeah. So the beeswax candles in particular, they are so much healthier for us. I used to be a candle addict and used to go to all the stores and buy the candles all the time. But they really have a lot of toxins in them and release a lot of chemicals. So making your own is a lot healthier. The beeswax in particular, it does kind of soak up a lot of the scent. So you kind of have to use a lot of oils if you want a stronger scent on these candles. So when I was testing out the recipes for these, one of our favorite combos is Siberian fir and grapefruit together. It smells amazing.
Put that in your diffuser for sure.
Oh yeah, put that in your diffuser. But I tried that out with the candle and I used 50 drops, and then I made the candle and I was so excited and I went to smell it. You couldn't smell a darn thing. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I just wasted all this oil. So that's why we kind of chose something that's a little bit stronger. Spearmint and the lemongrass have a stronger base note, so they're gonna hold that scent longer. So that's why we chose these oils for this particular candle. So we are good to go over here. Actually, set up just a teensy bit more.
And you could also make any kind of candle if you want. If you're not looking for a spa candle, maybe you're wanting one come mosquito season to set outdoors, you can make it for that. If you're wanting one to cover smells in the kitchen, we talked about that. Someone was asking us, about if Purify would be a good option. We said, yes, absolutely. Purify from doTERRA is fantastic for eliminating odors and smells, especially like Gretchen she loves the smell of bacon when she's cooking, but she doesn't love the after smell of it.
Right.
Your phone battery's
Hopefully it's still working. Okay, so there we go.
We love to do Purify with wild orange, lemon, and grapefruit together. Those are really great smells together to create something that eliminates odor.
Yes.
All right.
So really you can do any combination of oils that you want. So I'm just pouring the wax right in that candle jar, like we said. I did share the tip on our live that there may be a little bit of wax left in the bowl. That's okay. Go ahead and heat it back up because it will melt back down, and you can add that to the top of your candle. And also, as soon as you're done with these projects that have the beeswax in it, it's a good idea to take a paper towel and wipe those containers out while they're still warm. Jen's gonna lift the camera up just a second so we can get the charger in there. There we go. Thank you very much. So it doesn't die on us. And then, so what was I saying? Wiping your container out with a paper towel so that that wax doesn't stick on there. That's a good, easy cleanup tip, okay? So that's just water from the bottom of the pan. But so our candle is setting up really nicely with that clothespin in the middle to hold it in the center, and we should be good to go on that one.
And again, you would want to put your label on before, because you wouldn't want to dump your hot wax.
Right.
Or after, I guess. But yeah, don't dump hot wax on you.
And if you do, you got a skin balm to put on it. Very, very soothing for that burnt skin. All right, so lastly, we have our Breathe Easy inhaler. I'm gonna shove this back a little bit so you can see here. And Jen will show you how to make this inhaler. Some people might not know how to use these, so you might need to demo that. Okay. This one's yours. I demoed it in the first time.
You were the one that didn't record. I see how this worked now. I think this was all part of your master plan.
To me, little me.
So the inhalers are like a blue little tube stick. You guys sell them on DIY, and they can buy single ones or like a batch.
You can buy them single, or we have a package of 10 that has like one of each of the colors. We also have aluminum ones.
That's cool. Well, everybody in the family can have their own color.
That'd be a
good
way
not
to do it.
Sharing those hairs.
Yeah.
Okay. So it also comes with a white little wick type thing, and you're going to put it right in there. And then we chose 3 oils from doTERRA specifically for the respiratory benefits, because right now it's the middle of winter and everybody's getting stuffy for various reasons, right?
Right.
So we're going to do 2 drops of each, correct? 2 drops of each. And so the first one that I'm going to do is Breathe from doTERRA. And I'm going to put 2 drops in here. Breathe is really fantastic. It's the respiratory blend. And it's great for really targeting like allergies and asthma and any respiratory issues that you need to like open up your sinuses for.
It's good for like just congestion. A lot of people get that in the winter, you know.
The next one is Airx. And Airx is our air blend. And it is really great for opening up your respiratory too. It's really great for congestion. It kind of targets things like congestion due to smoke from fire or from viruses or things like that. So we're gonna put 2 of those in there, and it smells really wonderful.
It's real citrusy. It smells really nice.
And then just to add a bit more citrus, because why not? Citrus makes us happy in the winter, kind of uplifts our mood. We're gonna add lime. Lime just does make us happy, but it's also really great for congestion going on in your chest kind of area. So if you inhale that lime, it's going to help break up anything in congestion.
Break up the mucus. It's really nice to use like when you have that congested, like rattly cough. Just even applying it on your chest or behind your on your back between your shoulder blades can really help break that gunk up. So that's why it's really good in this inhaler.
Then there's a little cap, and you're going to push that all the way until it snaps. And it's locked and loaded for you. You can hear the wick rattle around.
And then you get to demo how to do it.
So we're going to unscrew the tube, which she's making me do this because you guys, it looks like a tampon. I mean, really, come on, it does, right? So luckily she gave me blue and not white. So
you're welcome.
I mean,
I did it on the first.
It's pretty strong at first. You can just inhale this way if you're more comfortable. But you can also, if you're really, really congested, you know how like I would, when I was younger, I would take like tissues and like wet
yeah,
stuff
people
and
do
shove
that
it.
all the time.
Yeah. So it's gonna be the same thing. You're gonna close the side of your nose. You're gonna put this one up the edge of your nostril, and you're gonna inhale deeply. And you're gonna feel it go all the way through your sinuses and down into your lungs. Luckily, if you're not all congested, but
Yeah.
that's gonna help break that mucus up, break that congestion up, and make you happy and healthy. And it's really great for on the go too.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
nice
those
and
are great.
easy when you can
We
have
were-
your diffuser by you.
We were talking about like that's so good to use if you're in a stinky place, like if you're at a soccer game and hockey players are stinky, or if you're at the gym and somebody next to you has BO or whatever. Grab your inhaler and just kind of take a whiff of that,
Yeah,
so you don't have to
stays
smell
there
those
for a
stinky
while.
things.
Like I can still smell it right now,
It's
even though
super good.
yeah.
Again, you can use whatever oils you want. If you're
my left
you
side
wanna
is
make
jealous.
if you want to make like a headache one or a stress one or whatever you need, by all means you can do that. But these are just the oils that we suggested for this month because it was such a timely thing with the weather and everything. So.
Yep.
So those were our projects.
Did we make all three?
Yeah, that was quick, huh?
Okay then.
So let us know if you guys have any questions. By all means, reach out to either of us or post it in any of our groups, and we will be more than happy to
DIY.
Yeah, we'll be more than happy to answer any of those questions you have. And we hope that everybody joins us again next month for our February DIY, which is actually in a couple of weeks. And then also, we love to see, it's the February 11th is the next one. And then because we want to do it before Valentine's Day, we'll be sharing details about that super duper quick in the next couple days. But we also want to let you know that we love seeing everybody's faces and we love seeing what you're doing with the products. We love seeing you make your DIYs and using your oils. So anybody that posts a picture on social media of you making your projects or one of your final projects that you made, dropping stuff all over the place. If you post a picture and you tag any of us in your picture,
they can also tag Whoop.
You can tag Whoop DIY or myself, Gretchen Ulanowski, or Jen Cochran. And if you tag any of us, you will get a surprise gift in next month's bundle. Yay. So we've already had several people sharing their pictures tonight. It was super fun. We had a lot of fun doing this tonight. So thank you again for watching the recording. We're sorry that we weren't able to record it the proper way the first time, but we'll try to figure this out for next month.
Getting better every time.
Yes, we are. We'll improve, we promise. And if not, then that's just how we are. Like I said, we're good at the DIYs, not so good at the technical part. So that's what you get.
I believe in us. We'll figure it out.
All right, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Thank you so much.
For joining us.
We'll
Bye-bye.
see you soon.